Hi, I'm Mindy. So I'm going to give you a description for EDM4015 Teaching Primary Mathematics and my site in Times. So for this module, in terms of engaging content, the first part are the goals and objectives. So I've stated that the goals, objectives, and learning outcomes of the module is parked under module documents in Times. So this is my site for this module. I only have 4 students, so what I meant by it's parked under module documents is that it can be found here. So in module documents, I have the academic calendar, which is the school academic calendar, and the module syllabus. So in the module syllabus, the student can find the learning outcomes of the course and the goals and objectives, as well as the assessment, the course assessment, and the weightage for each assessment. The content presentation, so they are laid out by week so that students can see what we've been learning throughout the semester. So for this one, since January is a short semester, so all in I have 7 weeks. So they can see from this layout from week 1 to week 7 what we'll be doing for each week. So let's say week 1, they will have the introduction to module, and then we'll be discussing about the aims and framework, and then the nature of mathematics, and so on and so forth for week 2 up to week 7. And this layout also lets the students see when their assessment is, when is the break, semester break, and when is the final exam. Okay. So the content involves reading materials, lecture slides, students' work and feedback, grades, quizzes, links, and etc. So in here, there are also links to students' work, for example, like the submissions. Under submissions, they can see each other's work, so they can read through what the rest of the class has prepared. And also in terms of feedback, so in feedback, like for example in test, for their test, they can see the feedback that I've written for them. Like for example, for this student, right, I've written comments for each of the question, each of their responses. Okay, let's move on to learners' engagement. So weekly forum is created and moderated by students, which aims to critically evaluate and discuss contemporary issues in learning and math education. So every week we have a topic that is selected by different forum hosts. So from week 1 to week 6, so I call it dialectic forums. So for week 1, I chose a topic and the students will be debating about the topic. So let's say the topic is, do you think the use of social media is a boon or bane in the classroom? So discuss, so the students will post their comments and then comment on each other's responses. And each week we'll have a different host. So let's say like for week 4, the forum host is a student. So someone will post a STEM question and then the rest of the students will respond and ask each other questions. Okay, and then we also have questionnaire. So one of the questionnaire is to use as a self and peer review to reflect on one of the assignment, which is micro teaching. So in my home page, under micro teaching, so here. Okay, in micro teaching, okay, so this questionnaire is set up so that students can respond to each question and also to do a review on themselves on how they did on the assignment. So there are 8 questions here for basically for critical review of their own performance in the assignment. Okay, I'll move on to the use of technology. So my site here in Times is used in class and also out of class. So it's to support learning in the classroom and also used as a blended learning approach. So in the classroom, so for example, like in one of the topics, we will have reading materials and slides which we'll be discussing in class. So that is the in-class mode. And for the blended learning mode, some of the reading materials are given to students prior to class, which they need to read and summarize before we discuss further in the class. And Google Sheet link is used for students to collaborate on ideas as part of the blended learning as well. So in this topic, like for example, the psychological theories, there is a link here for summary of learning theories. So this Google link is a matrix summary where each student will work on different sheets. So like I said, I have 4 students. So what I want the students to do is to read up on the 4 schools of thought in psychological theories of learning, and each of them will have to work separately on their matrix, and then when we come to class we'll discuss their findings. Alright, so that is the blended learning approach. And online lecture capture is used in place of classroom learning as part of a lecture review and also as a class replacement. Like for example, online lecture capture, let's say like aims and framework of primary maths curriculum. So this is this is recorded using rewind lecture capture, so that students can review the lesson as and when they wish to. Okay, the use of online lecture capture also facilitates the students who go for school placement, because some of the students from our school, they will be placed in schools for practicum for up to 2 weeks. So for the duration that they are not able to attend class, so they will refer to the online lecture capture to catch up on what they missed during the lessons. Alright, so assignments are also uploaded and graded in e-format so that students have easy access to their progress, feedback, and grades. Okay, so in terms of assessment, like for example, micro teaching assessment, where they are supposed to submit their lesson plan and do a presentation. So the instructions are here, and they know that it's due in week 6. So this is their uploaded work. Okay, an example of work. Okay, so I have 4 students, so these are their grades which they can see, and also I've uploaded a file which contains the rubric for each student and also the feedback. Okay, so this is the rubric file for this particular student, where they can download the file and read my comments on the quality of their work. Again, weekly forums are used as a platform to exchange ideas and reflect on issues in learning, especially in learning mathematics. So as I've explained just now, so in this site, every week we have a different topic, so suggested by a different forum host, and we'll have students give their ideas and comments or questions about that particular topic. So they'll be exchanging ideas like this. And I feel that this is motivating for students, because as future teachers, we need to be aware of contemporary issues in education and need to know how to make decisions, okay, when we come to certain situations in learning. So for part 2, in terms of interaction and collaboration, the diversity of communication strategies. So in my times page, I have different modes of learning. So synchronous modes includes Google Sheet. So the Google Sheet link that I've showed just now. This Google Sheet link where students can work at the same time. Okay, so they work on each of their tabs labeled here. So they will work on each of their tabs, and then they can see each other's work, so, to collaborate on ideas as well. So if they're missing something, they can refer to their friend's work. And also the forum. So forum is one of the synchronous modes, and asynchronous modes includes documents, slides, lecture capture. Okay, and then in terms of development of learning community, so each student takes turn to initiate forum topic and to moderate the forum responses. So they are encouraged to question and critically evaluate the responses posted by others. So we take turns to be forum host, and I encourage my students to take charge as a forum host, because I want them to be able to critically evaluate the responses of others as well. So in terms of quality of interaction, for part C, so all assignment rubrics are uploaded. Sample of students' work and feedback are provided and is available to all learners. And I believe in a sample of good work to provide to students as a guide of what are the expectations of the assignments. And also I strongly believe in feedback because that, as part of assessment for learning, gives the students a chance to improve the quality of their work and to make them learn and to know what are the strengths and weaknesses of the assignments as well. Okay, so one of the assignment rubrics, okay, we can see from the times page here. So for example, in assignment 1, okay, the psychological theories in mathematics is a report writing assignment. Okay, so the students will be uploading their assignment documents through this link, and then they can see their grades. And in each of the file there, when they download my response, the rubric, and then the file that they initially upload, I will have annotations and comments, and I'll re-upload it back to them so that they can see what are my comments for their work. Okay, and for part 3, assessment. So the purpose of each assessment is explained, as well as the guidelines, instructions, and deadlines, and assigned topics. So sample of work is also uploaded as guide. So like I explained just now, for in terms of assignment, so in this course they can see that there are 3 assignments, which is psychological theories, the report writing assignment. They have the test, and also they have micro teaching, and also the deadline stated here, so that they know in advance what it's coming up for them. And the rubric and deadlines, the instructions, for example, on micro teaching, the instructions are here. The file for micro teaching, this folder, includes a sample and also the rubric, okay, so that they have a very clear guide of what is expected and when is expected. Okay, in terms of the design of the assessment, so the assessment mode is diverse because it includes writing, for example, like the report writing for assignment 1. Assignment 1 is a report writing on learning theories. The test is a writing assignment, and also presentation formats like micro teaching. So it caters to the diverse abilities of my learners to project their learning through written ways and also in verbal ways. So assessment criteria emphasizes on the skills required of a good primary math teacher. So what we believe in School of Education is that a primary school teacher should be good in presentation, should be good in lesson delivery, in engaging their students in terms of communication. So the diversity of the assessment is to cater to all these kind of skills that we believe a teacher should have. So in terms of self-assessment, there is opportunity for students to self-assess and also to peer assess through the questionnaire and reflective writing in class. So one of the questionnaire that I've uploaded is for micro teaching. So after the micro teaching sessions, when all of the students have completed their sessions, they can see micro teaching self-review form, self and peer review form like that. So I built this questionnaire to help them to review the sessions that they have attended, that is presented by other students, by their classmates, and also for themselves. So let's say I have these 4 students. So if I'm one of these students, so I will grade this according to what I think of my own objectives and purpose of the activity. Was it clearly explained or not? So this is a Likert scale questionnaire. Okay, so this questionnaire involves the responses for each of the students, and also the students can see each other's responses and suggest ways to improve the activity for themselves and also for their peers. So after they have responded to this questionnaire, they can see the responses through another link, which is view all responses. Okay, so they can see something similar like this. So for their own reference, whether or not they did well in terms of explaining objectives and purpose of their micro teaching activity, whether or not their instruction was clear, and what their friends think of them, okay, and what they think of themselves. So I believe that peer review is very important. Also, self-reflection after every activity helps to propel learning even further. And the last question is a very reflective question, like suggest ways to improve the activity for each teacher, including yourself. Include suggestions on how you might carry the activities differently. So they will state what they like and what they do not like about each other's session, and also including themselves. Okay, so that's about it for my explanation on my Times. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.